Gundam Jehudi Kai, you know. There are two fighting games that I will trash on. One that I will never actually reveal what it is because I have very personal reasons to never trash on this game publicly. Actually, that makes it sound like I'm talking about HDR. I don't. So HDR is not a game that I like actively hate. I really hate how it was made and the result of it. So HDR is actually not included in that list. Okay, there's actually a different game that I'm talking about that I will actually never publicly trash on. But the game that I always publicly trash on is Street Fighter X Tekken. So I will always shit on that game. So, cause that game sucks, dude. Oh my god, that game sucks. I know a lot of people enjoy that game, and I get it. I get it. Like, you like the footsies, you like the super high fundamentals on it. For me, as a person, like, the thing that I hate about Street Fighter X Tekken the most is that it is the most... What's the word? Uncohesive? Incohesive? It's like the... It is like one of the most poorly overall developed fighting games. Like I said, if I developed a fighting game, for me, it would be about the goal of the game. It would be about the mood of the game. What am I trying to accomplish? And trying to put everything within that theme for the game. But Street Fighter X Tekken, I mean, it wasn't even just the DLC, and it wasn't even just the DLC. But nothing in the game was cohesive. Like, it was just like gems, we'll just throw in Pandora, tag system. Everyone has chain combos. We'll just do this. Like, there was no vision in the game. And this is, again, where I'm most scared of new Darkstalkers games. If you develop a Darkstalker game with a purpose of, hey, we want Darkstalkers to fulfill this kind of genre. Like, we want it to be a, you know, a violent fighting game to fight Mortal Kombat kind of thing like that. Like, if you do something like that, it's gonna die, right? The game is not gonna work. So if you are going to make a game like Darkstalkers, it's like, the way Darkstalkers is right now is like, okay, there's this overarching, like I said, artistic, humorous, violent, sexy, you know, and sad. I always have to add in that sadness because it's weird. Like, even though the sadness isn't played up a lot in Darkstalkers, it's there. And if you're anywhere a remote Darkstalkers fan, you know all about that sadness. Like, you know about it. You see it, and you're just like, and you feel it too, right? Like, there's this kind of level of just like, yeah, like the Anita thing, but like Victor, like, just go look up Victor's backstory. Victor's backstory is like literally one of the saddest backstories that you can ever possibly find in a fighting game. And like, you know, War Agony, the stage is just so somber. And so again, like, if you walk into making a Darkstalkers game without the artistic vision around the game is going to die. The game is going to suffer, right? Because you don't have a vision. You don't have something keeping the whole thing together. It doesn't matter that you're making a video game. Yes, in the end, a video game is meant to be played and have fun. But you need an overall vision for if you want it to be truly in that transcendent level, because anybody who makes a video game can tell you that there is a lot of art in video game creation, and that kind of art is the thing that sticks with a lot of people, right? It's not just about, hey, let's make a video game, but like, there is this artistic vision. And I don't necessarily mean you need to have a storyline or whatever, but as long as you have a great theme. So like, for example, one of my favorite platformers of all time, Super Mario Island 2, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Again, great game, great mechanics, all this stuff. What made that game was the artistic direction of that game. The little subtle things they did with Yoshi and like all the little music cues and all these things, so much to the point when they made the DS version, they made a sequel to that game. They made a DS sequel to that version. And when Yoshi ran up the stairs, he didn't actually run up the stairs. If you look at the original Super Mario World, when Yoshi goes up and down stairs, he actually matches each step and has like a specific animation to it. And then in the DS version, he just ran up it like he was going sideways across these. And I was like, oh my God, you destroyed the game. Like, I felt like you destroyed the game. Like, the whole point of Yoshi's Island was the subtlety, was the feel, like when you get to the winning screen and like all your stars and stuff start dancing if you get 100%, touch fuzzy, get dizzy, like that whole thing is still one of the greatest things in the world. So, you know, that's the point, is that you have to have a vision when you create a game. One of the main reasons why I hate Street Fighter X Tekken is because there was clearly no vision. Like every single convention we went to, they introduced a new game mechanic. If it was tag, then all of a sudden it was Pandora, then all of a sudden it was gems, then all of a sudden it was all this stuff. There was all this crazy stuff about being able to do auto combos and all these things like that. The Capcom characters and the Tekken characters had no cohesion with each other, you know, like when you play CVS 2, it feels like the characters belong in the same game. When I play Street Fighter X Tekken, the Tekken characters don't feel like they belong in the same game as the Street Fighter characters. Like they're playing kind of like two separate games. You know what I mean? And CVS 2 even had grooves, you know, to emphasize the differences and stuff. But Street Fighter X Tekken had no cohesion. It was just throw everything against the wall to see what sticks. And so the whole game just came out to me like I look at it and it looks like if I just knock over one toothpick, the whole game just crashes down. Right? Like they didn't think about the chain combo system for the Street Fighter game. They didn't think about how this affected this, you know, the combo routes. Everyone's like, oh my God, the combos are so creative. They're not. Like Street Fighter X Tekken has some of the least creative combo system that I've ever seen, because every time you tag into another character, it was almost always kind of the same situation. And you gave everybody the same juggle rules, etc., except for Cammy, because her stand heavy punch was too fast. So it had less juggle count than everybody else's because Cammy. But, you know, like, the game just wasn't cohesive. The game was not designed in a way that it made sense as a package. Like, you create this game, and then you have, like, ugly Mega Man? What? Why? Why? What is the ugly box Mega Man in there? And, you know, like I've always thought it was really weird that Paul and Law were, like, really goofy looking in the game. Like even in the character select, they were always like, yeah, and you know, like it was just like, what is going on with these characters, dude? Like something about them doesn't make any sense. And so I get it. I get there are people out there who like the gameplay, but the game to me, just as an overall product, just felt really bad. I'm sorry, Automatic. I'm sorry. I know you stuck up for me recently, but I just gotta tell you, man, like, I did not like Street Fighter X Tekken. I just think as a package, as a product, as a vision of as a vision of a creation, which is why, again, when I tell people that I want to make Rival Schools, a new Rival Schools game, first thing I do is ask all the Rival Schools players, if I made it not play like the old ones, would that bother you? And almost all of them were like, no, because we didn't care about the game, we cared about the characters, right? And so when I'm like, it's funny because I actually don't have a lot of the detailed mechanics of my game idea in mind. I'm not even sure what each of the individual characters are gonna do. I just know what I wanna do from an overarching standpoint that accomplishes a goal that I am trying to create and a feel that I am trying to create for a team-based fighting game. You know, I'm not worried about the details. The details aren't the important part. It's what is your goal? What is your What is your feeling? What is it that you want to convey with this game? And having that kind of artistic vision and stuff is really, really, really important in a fighting game. In my mind, if I were to design Street Fighter Cross Tekken, what would it have been? It's a really good question, actually. I haven't thought about it that much, Silas, but for sure it would be something, you know. I probably would have actually. There's one of two things that I would have done. I would have made it so that Street Fighter characters play like Street Fighter and Tekken characters just played like Tekken. Or I would have introduced grooves. I would have introduced grooves and made it so that it would be fun to see what a Tekken character would feel like playing Street Fighter, and a Street Fighter feels like playing Tekken. I probably would. Yeah, it probably would have been 1v1. Well, versus games, you kind of always want to do team stuff, so maybe try to do it like a 2v2, or maybe just have both versions so that one just plays like Street Fighter and the other plays like Tekken Tag, you know? The gem system would be gone. Like, there'd be no gem system. The gem system was a problem for a competitive game from the very, very beginning. From the very beginning, the gems was a problem for competitive games. Like, the only way the gem system works is if you only had, like, 15 gems total that you could put on. So, I know they called me Gems Chen, and trust me, they did it because they knew I didn't like it. They did it because they knew I hated gems, and they did it because they knew I didn't like Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So they called me Gems Chen as a kind of twist the knife kind of thing. So that's basically what it was. So yeah, after the patch, I think the Tekken characters were way better than the Street Fighter characters, but that's because they tried to keep a lot of the things that the Tekken characters did, and they didn't give the Capcom characters anything unique, right? They gave everybody that stupid chain combo system. I hate that chain combo system so goddamn much, because it just ruined, like neutral. It just ruined neutral, right? Like, oh god, it made me so mad. But like, oh man, yeah. They put gems in to sell money, because you could buy gems, and you could buy gem packages and stuff like that. And a lot of the gems that you could buy were just better versions of the gems that you could get for free. So that's kind of what it was. They kind of pulled back on that because everybody got so mad, but that's absolutely entirely what the gem system was designed for, was for pay to win. Was for pay to win for sure. But like I said, they pulled back on it because everybody got so mad at the gem system. So yeah, when they did the big major patch, it was like them going shit, sorry, we apologize, and they tweaked a lot of it. So yeah, that's basically where it came from. No, the $8.95 joke came from Canada Cup. That was a Canada Cup thing over there. So dude, revising my FAQs would actually be so funny, dude. Oh man. But yeah, that's the main reason why I hate Street Fighter Cross Tekken, because I don't feel like the game was cohesive. I don't feel like it was designed with any vision. I don't think they had any idea what they were trying to do. It just really was. They just made a game, put all these characters in it. I'm sure the chain combos came about because they're like, oh my god, the Street Fighter characters are just getting destroyed, so we need to give them something. But then that's weird, the Tekken characters don't have it, so let's give it to them as well. It's a team game. Let's let them do this crazy thing. Let's do this weird Pandora mode. How is Pandora gonna be fair? I don't know. If you don't kill the character in 10 seconds, you lose. Like, that's the stupidest mechanic ever. It's literally like the dumbest mechanic ever. Holy crap, what a stupid mechanic. Like, they literally put in mechanics into the game that were not meant to be used. They just put them in there. And like, that's like, this is what I mean. This is why I hate the game, is because as a person who has always wanted to make fighting games and design fighting games with art and vision and like cohesiveness and stuff, Street Fighter X Tekken represents everything that I hated about fighting game design, and I've never been able to get over that. It has nothing to do with the gameplay. I don't even really actually hate the gameplay. I just hate everything about the game, and it's just really what it comes down to, honestly. Anyways, that's the game that I publicly shit on. You will never know what the game, the second game that I secretly shit on. You will never know what that is, and you know what? Even if I gave you the reasons why I hate that game, you would know what it is, so I won't even give that, so...